little thing that you need to know about 5-3, okay? The first thing is, what is a point of concurrency? It is the point where blank or more lines intersect. 3, okay? Where 3 or more lines intersect is going to be a point of concurrency. So when we talk about points of concurrency, does that have a point of concurrency? No, because there is no one place where 3 lines met up, right? A point of concurrency is something like that. Okay, no point of concurrency here. So where 3 or more lines will meet. Okay, let's see if you can remember this. The circumcenter is the point of concurrency for what? Perpendicular bisector or angle bisector? That's the perpendicular bisector. So the perpendicular bisectors of a triangle will get you a circumcenter. Okay, so let's think about this. I gave you a triangle on a coordinate plane. Can you find the perpendicular bisector of those sides without using your tools?
Yes.
How?
By counting the squares.
Okay, so if you count the squares, here's the thing, guys. 2 of these are very easy. 1 is not as easy. Do you need to do all 3? No. If you do the first 2 correct, it's going to find the circumcenter for you. Now, if you want to do the third one to verify your answer, sure. But on a problem like this, that's way more work, and I will only require 2, okay? So let's think about this. You have this segment, and we want the perpendicular bisector of that segment. Where would that be? Or what kind of line is it going to be? Elisha.
It's going to be an angle bisector.
It's going to be a perpendicular bisector, right? That's what we're looking for here. To find the circumcenter, you need the perpendicular bisectors. How do you bisect a line? A segment. Cut it in half, okay? So this segment right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 4 units long. So to bisect it, you're going to go 2, right? Right here. How do I make a line perpendicular to a horizontal line? What's perpendicular to this, Wyatt?
Vertical.
It's vertical, right? So all you do with this is you cut this line in half and you draw a vertical line through it, okay? That is a perpendicular bisector right now. Then you do the same thing to one other side of your triangle. Which side of your triangle should we do this to? The vertical one or the slanted one? The vertical one. The slanted one's going to be a lot more work because you have to find the slope and then you have to find the opposite reciprocal. Remember doing that? Opposite reciprocals? Yeah. We don't want to have to do all that work. So instead, we just count. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units long. So to bisect it, we're going to go to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? It's a vertical line. What's perpendicular to a vertical line? A horizontal line. So we're going to put a horizontal line through this. Can anyone tell me where our circumcenter is going to fall? Which point? 2, 3. Okay? Your answer is this point where they met up, which is the point 2, 3. Now, could we have found the third one? Yes, we could have. Do we need to? No. If you find the 2, wherever those 2 meet, the third one's going to meet there as well. On the constructions, do all 3 for me because it's just a good way for you to check it. But on these problems, I'm not going to make you go through the work of finding the slope and finding your y-intercept and all of that stuff. That's too much. So you find this, you give me the point of intersection as your answer. 2, 3 is your circumcenter. Do you notice where the circumcenter met for this triangle? On the line, because it's what? A right triangle. Okay? So right triangles are lovely because you can find the perpendiculars really easy on a coordinate plane. Okay? Questions on that? Okay, the only other type of find the circumcenter that you're going to do is when they give you a list of coordinates, you have options here. If you want to graph it, go ahead and graph it. Okay? I'm going to show you a shortcut that works with this. where you won't have to graph it. Because if you think about it, we're working with the 0.00, we're working with the 0.30, and we're working with the 0.32, okay? When you have coordinates that are the same, like your x value is the same here, that means we have a vertical line happening because your x was 3 and then your x was 3, right? That's a vertical line. So this is a vertical line. When your y values are the same, like 0 and 0, that's a horizontal line between those 2 points, okay? So really all you have to do is find the midpoint of the other coordinate. So find the ones that have the same x or the same y. I'm going to go back to the same x right now, okay? So if I'm looking at these 2 points, that means the middle of those 2 points to make our line is actually going to come from the 0 and 2, right? You're essentially just taking a midpoint of 0 and 2. So 0 plus 2 divided by 2. I'm cutting that in half. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. That's our y value, right? We used our y values to find a y value. Now look at where our y's are the same. Let's change colors here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, here we had 0, 0. This is our x values changing, and we're going to find a midpoint of those x values. So 0 plus 3 divided by 2 is 3/2, or if you like 1.5 better, that's fine. That's our x value. Okay, that means our point where they meet up, because that's one's a vertical line, one's a horizontal line, is at these two x and y values, 1.5 and 1. Okay, let me show you one more time just so that it makes a little more sense now that I've talked you through the whole thing. I'm going to give you 3 sets of points. The 0.16, the 0.56, and the 0.58. Okay, when you see 2 x values that are the same, actually let's start with your y. When you see 2 y values that are the same, you find the midpoint of the x's, and that will be your new x value. 5 plus 1 divided by 2 is 6/2, so that's the 0.3. So what are you going to use for your other point to find the midpoint? Yes, 6 plus 8, right? 5 and 5 were the same. So we're going to take 6 plus 8 divided by 2, or 14 divided by 2 is 3, 7. So when you find your circumcenter, it will be this point. Now, if you hate that, if you can't visualize that well enough, then just graph it, okay? Take a graph, draw it out, do the perpendicular bisectors of each, and you'll get there. But this is essentially doing the same thing for you. Find the midpoint, name that as your circumcenter. Questions on that? Okay, the last thing then is just defining this. An in-center, that's the point of concurrency for what?
Is it angle
The angle bisectors. Okay, so you guys will take a quiz on 5.3 and 5.4. It's mostly drawing. It's mostly constructing the two, it's the worksheet, okay? The quiz that you're gonna take over 5.3 to 5.4, 90% of it is doing the 4 constructions, okay? So far you've done circumcenter and in-center. Tomorrow we'll do, orthocenter and median. If you can do those 4, you're in really good shape for the quiz that you're going to take on Thursday. Okay? Is that Thursday for you? Yes, Thursday for you guys. Questions on that?